Howdy, everyone. I'm Sharon. If you haven't noticed in that short little sentence, I am from Texas. So I do have a pretty deep Texas drawl. I am 57 years old. I am the wife of a wonderful man for 36 years now. We have 2 grown children. We also have 2 grandbabies. I worked in the nonprofit sector for 18 years running nonprofit agencies and programs. And then I went into corporate America as a management consultant for 17 years. And now I am doing organizational transformation and change management within a single company and not doing consulting anymore, but doing the same type of work globally for a global company. I am a Christian. I'm moderate, but lean more conservative. I do want to say before we get started into our wonderful podcast, which was my sister's idea, and it took her a while to convince me to do it. And even though I didn't want to do this podcast, I want to make my sister happy. And I want to have something that she and I do together that I look forward to every week. However, I would do anything for my sister because I love her very much. And I think that you will find that although my sister and I have at times had a rocky relationship, we never stopped loving each other. And we have gotten through those hard times and, in my opinion, gotten to a spot in our lives and in our relationship where I've never felt closer to her. But I really believe in the purpose of this podcast because things have become very, very divided in the U.S. over the last, I would say, probably 15, 20 years. And I don't always understand why people can't disagree, but still love each other and have a civil conversation and not get upset with each other. And so to me, that's kind of the noble purpose of this podcast, is to role model that type of communication and that type of dialogue where you can agree to disagree on everything, every single value that you hold, but still love each other and still respect each other and come together and still be a family. And I don't want anything to come in between that.
You're not supposed to cry. We keep it light.
You don't know if you're going to be talking to me, I'm going to cry. You know this. I'm probably going to cry like once a month or so on this thing. That's all, folks.
My name is Karen.
But I do think, I'm sorry.
You just cannot stop, can you? And we're on video. So you can see that I'm about to start, right? Or you just weren't paying attention. Yeah. My name is Karen. I am in my 50s and convinced my sister to start this podcast with me against her better judgment, against our family's better judgment, but we're going to give it a go anyway. I spent the first 38 years of my life in the U.S., primarily in Texas, and have spent the last 15 to 16 years living in Morocco. I convinced her to do this podcast because there has been this growing divisiveness that has happened among the country and, unfortunately, within families. And I know that for myself, I really struggled with the differences that we had in our way of thinking and approaches, and that sometimes it caused conflict within our family. And I struggled with that a lot. And I think that what we need to do as a country and as individuals is come together and find a way to communicate once again. So that's the purpose of this podcast, is to find that way to come together. And my sister and I are very, very different people, even though we were raised in the same house. I'm Muslim. I lean more to the left of my politics and my ideology and way of thinking. Being in a bicultural marriage has given me the opportunity to really explore another culture to get a different sense of the world. So that's me in a nutshell, but here we are, Sharon and Karen, and we welcome you to Agree to Disagree. You're looking at me and it's putting me off. You're making me nervous. It's looking at me like, what are you going to say? What are you going to say?
But I think there should be laughter.
There will be laughter. I'm not saying we cut out all the laughter, but I want us laughing together. That's what it needs to be.
Well, but I think there's going to be a little bit of laughing at each other. Well, no, probably not. You'll just laugh at me. I probably won't laugh at you.
Given our history, that's probably true. But
That's probably true. And so I welcome you to our podcast.